Hi, everybody. Welcome back to UC's Summer One Doing. I'm Miss Lauren, and I hope that everybody's doing pretty well like I am. I'm happy to be awake and alert and reading more summer storybooks for you today. We like to give it a couple minutes so that anybody else can join us if they want. So how is everybody's summer going so far? I know this year is a little different because we can't do all like the camps and things that we want to do. And like we still have to kind of be social distancing. But it's still been really nice weather outside, and I hope we've all been able to like go out and enjoy it all the days. I am going to let my dog out because he sees another dog in the yard. So now that we've given everybody some time to get back on, let's talk about the next book that we're going to read right now. The next book is called Gray Rabbit's Odd One Out. And this is the front cover. And you can see here's the rabbit that they're talking about. That would be the gray rabbit. And the author's name is right under that, and it's in smaller letters. Here it is. Alan Baker. Alan Baker wrote the words. So there's the front cover. Here's the back cover. And here's the spine. And on the back, it also tells us what this book is going to be about. It says right here, Gray Rabbit can't find his favorite book. As he sorts out his toys to find it, some things just don't belong. Can you help Gray Rabbit spot the odd ones out? So that gives me an idea that in this book, we're going to be finding some things that are similar and some things that are different. So we'll have to be using our thinking skills to kind of think about which things belong in a group and which ones do not. So here is the beginning of the book. When we open up the front page, we see the title again, and it's at the top. It says Gray Rabbit's Odd One Out by Alan Baker again. And he, in the front cover, is holding a yellow cup. So that might be one of the types of objects that we get to find a group for. Here's the first page. It says, one morning, Gray Rabbit could not find his favorite book. His favorite book. What's your favorite book? It doesn't say what Gray Rabbit's is, but he has all of this stuff. No wonder he can't find it. He'll probably have to clean up. Let's talk about some of the things we see here in this book. I see, what's this? Teddy bear, an airplane. What is this? A chick? What is this? That's a stuffed dog. It's time to clean up, thought Rabbit. First, let's sort the wooden animals. So that'll be the first group that we talk about. Look in this picture and see if you can't find some of the animals that we might sort. And then we'll turn the page to see where the animals are. Okay, here they are. It says there were 2 of each kind, but one thing was not an animal. What was the odd one out, it asks. So look at this picture. Which one was not a wooden animal? I see some chipmunks, a chick, a duck. These are all animals so far. I see another duck, a kangaroo, a alligator. Oh, but wait, this thing, is that an animal? No, that's a spoon. A spoon is not an animal. So let's turn the page and see what happens with that spoon. It says we were right. Here at the top, here are the words for this page. It says it was a teaspoon. Now he's holding the teaspoon, and this is what he does with it. It says on the words in the next page. So Rabbit sorted out his cups and saucers. So these are his cups, and at the bottom, these are called saucers. That's what you put your cup on when you're drinking a cup of tea, you're having a tea party or whatnot. But one thing did not belong. What was it? Let's look at the picture again and see if we can figure out the object that does not belong. Take a close look. So now we're looking at the teacups and the saucers. And I'll point my finger and tell me if it's a teacup or a saucer. So yes, teacup or saucer, teapot, teacup and saucer, teacup and saucer. Wait. Oh, what is this object? That object is a paintbrush, and is that a teacup or saucer? No, sir. Let's turn the page. I bet that's what he'll pick out, the object that doesn't belong. We were right. It says, where do you see words on this page? At the top, here are the words. It was a paintbrush, and look what he did with his paintbrush. Now he's holding it, and he wrote a word on here. This word starts with a capital P, and look, it kind of looks like the beginning of this word. This whole word is paintbrush, and this word right here is paint. It says paint. So Rabbit gathered up his paints and brushes and made a useful sign. Now what was the odd one out? So let's look again at the picture. So all of these objects are going to be things that you can use to paint, like the brushes and the colors. So look around, see which one is not going to belong. I'll start from here. I see a painting can, a paint palette. A palette is the word for all of the colors and the board that comes on. Oh, these aren't for painting, but they're still art supplies. So we have some colored pencils, a crayon. Oh, but wait, what's that behind there? Is that something you use for art? It's a red and yellow polka dot ball. That's what these words say. A red and yellow polka dot ball. So look at this page. What do you think the words up here are going to say if you had to guess just by looking at the pictures? I bet that this rabbit is going to keep going and sorting his new ball into the other play balls. Rabbit found all of his round things. Ooh, that's a good word. That describes the shape of the red and yellow ball. It's round. Hey, stop rolling away. But one thing did not belong. What was it? So let's look now at the group name is round things. So we're looking for something that's not round. So I'll start over here. Let's browse the picture. This is round, this is round, this is round. Keep going and seeing around. Oh, I found something that's not round. Do you see it? Here are the words, a purple vase. Some people say vase. Some people say vase. It's like tomato, tomato. I say vase. It's a purple vase. Where can that go? That rabbit. It's the only vase I have. So if you were to look at this picture, how would you guess that he's sorting his purple vase? So he's not going to sort it by size. He's not going to sort it by how you use it. I think he's going to sort it by, tell me, color. He's going to sort it by color, I think. Oh, I think I'm right. I'm going to read the next page. Then he mashed it up with all the other purple things. It does say that purple things, but something wasn't purple. What was it? Take a look at the picture. Which one is not purple? Do you see the object? The odd one out? I see it right here. It's a quack, quack, quack. It is a duck. You got it. You said duck. Great work. And it says it in the words at the top of this page. It says, look, a duck. That belongs with the other stuffed animals, so Rabbit lined them all up in a row, as you can see in the picture. But wait, we read all the words up here, so which words should we read next? Now that we've read these words, we should read these words on the next page. Now what did not belong? That's what these words say. Now what did not belong? So do you remember which group we're talking about now? It says stuffed animal. So which of these is not a stuffed animal? I see it. It is the A block. That's what these two words say. It says A block. You got it. A block is not an animal. There were lots and lots of blocks. How could Rabbit sort them out? Look at all of these blocks. How do you think that he could sort them out? Because see, they're all the same shape. That's square, or if you want to be fancy, you can say they're cube. They all have letters on them if you look close. So now we want to think about ways that they're different so we know how to sort them. Do you think you know a way we could sort these blocks? Let's turn the page and find out. Oh, how is he sorting them? Let's read the words. First, he built a square of red blocks. Then a wall of green blocks. So he's sorting them by what? By color. The yellow blocks made a tower. What was that among the blue blocks? What is it? Look, Rabbit's favorite book. I'll sort out the blue blocks, he thought. Then I'll read my story. Oh, that's sweet. That was what he was looking for at the very beginning. His favorite book. Oh, and this is a nice ending. Look, he's relaxing, he's reclined, and there are two words that I see at the top. Someone said, yay, he found it. Yes. The two words at the top are at last. So that's just saying that he is very pleased with himself. He found what he was looking for by cleaning up and sorting by the different objects. And that's the end of the book, because when we turn the page, we see the back cover again. So, tell me, boys and girls, is that how you clean up your stuff? How do you clean it up? So when I'm cleaning up, I like to put everything that belongs together too. When I clean up, I start at one part of my room and then I move around to the different parts until everything is back where it belongs. Do you have any of the toys that you saw in that book at your place? Which of those toys do you have? Remember some of them? I have some of them. I have markers. I have some stuffed animals. I even have some blocks that I like to play with sometimes. So that was pretty fun. Well, what we were talking about a lot in that book, besides the cleaning up, were things that are the odd ones out. So we had to think about the things that belonged in the group and then which one didn't quite fit in. And we did that all with things like objects. And then we did some things that like descriptions, like colors. I want to do an activity where we keep getting to practice that. So since we did so many groups of objects, this time I want to think about the odd describing word out and the odd action word out and describing words. Let's give you a little quiz. Do you know what those are called if they're describing words? They're called adjectives, and the action verbs, those are called what? Action words are called verbs, of course. So I'm going to put 4 words up here on my board. I'll tell you what they are, and then we can act them out if you would like to get up and move around, and then we'll decide which one doesn't quite fit in with the others. So here are our first set of words. They are tiny, little, small, and happy, Happy. Whoops. Small, little, tiny, and happy. So let's act them out. Pretend that you're really small. I'm going to shrink down. Now pretend that you're really tiny. Oh, I'm going to shrink down again, like a little mouse. Now pretend that you're little. Oh, I keep shrinking. I'm so little. Now pretend that you're happy. Hooray! I'm happy. So which of those words wasn't like the others? Was it tiny, happy, little, or small? I think it was happy, because happy is talking about what? It's talking about a good way you can feel, and the rest of the words are talking about the size that something can be. So small, little, and tiny belong, but not happy. Here's the next rounds of words. We have giant, large, big, and strong. strong. Ready to act them out? Okay, let's act out giant. Whoa. Now let's act out large. I'm growing. And then big. Whoa. And then strong. Yeah. So which one doesn't belong? Now this one is a little trickier because they're kind of more similar in meaning, but there was one that was more different than the others. Do you think it was giant, large, big, or strong? Now I'll tell you, giant, large, and big are all talking about size again, but strong, is that a size? No, that's talking about an ability or a way that you can be. You can be strong and you can have muscles, but that's not really talking about your size, is it? No, so strong was the odd one out. Here come our next set of words. We have fast, quick, loud, and speedy. Ready to go? Let's start acting these out. First, let's act out the word loud. Oh, that's loud. Now let's act out speedy. I'm going to pretend to run. Now let's act out fast. Let's pretend to run again. Now let's act out quick. I'm still running. Which one doesn't belong? Which one was different? I think the one that was different was loud. Loud was not like the others because fast, quick, and speedy are talking about what? They're describing words that talk about how quick you can go, how fast you can go. You can go real speedy, but you can't go loud. You can be loud with your voice, but not with your body. So loud was the odd one out. Here are our next set of words. We have strange, excellent, good, Good, and great. So for this one, let's make the face that you would make if something was great. Now make the face if something's good. Now make a face if something's strange. Now make a face if something is excellent. So which one is different? I think the different word this time is strange. Yeah, strange. Why is strange the odd one out? Because it's not talking about the good feeling that you get. It's talking about a weird feeling that you get. Another word for strange is like weird or odd. But good, great, and excellent are all about the same. So here's another thing we can do before we go to the next set of words. Which one is the most intense? So that means which one is the biggest good of all, like the most intense form of good. Is it good, excellent, or great? I think that the one that's the most intense of good, I'll put it at the top, is excellent. I think the next best form of good is great. And then good is still good, but I think it would be here at the bottom because excellent and great are very intense forms of good. All right, let's do our next set of words. We have bad, awful, bad and awful. And then we have funny and terrible. Bad, awful, terrible, and funny. Let's do the faces again. So let's do a face if something's bad. Now let's do a face for something awful. Now let's do a terrible face. And what about a funny face? Which one is different? Is it bad, awful, terrible, or funny? I think funny is the odd one out because that doesn't belong in the same group as bad, awful, and terrible. Do you think we can sort them by intensities again? So let's start from the least intense this time. So the least intense. Would it be bad, awful, or terrible? So between terrible, awful, and bad, I think bad is the least intense. So that'll go down at the bottom. And then what's more than bad? Would it be awful or terrible? To me, I think awful would be then in the middle, and then terrible would be the most bad of all, because terrible is extremely bad, not good at all. Here come our next set of words. We have sleepy, chilly, freezing, and cold. Ready to act them out? Okay. How would you look if you were really sleepy? I'll do it too. Okay, now let's do chilly. How would you look if you were chilly? Okay, what about cold? What about freezing? So cold. Which one is different then? Is it sleepy, chilly, freezing, or cold? Sleepy would be the odd one out. That one is different from all the rest. All the others are in the same group. It can be how you feel when it's very chilly, cold, or freezing around you and you want to put on a coat. But sleepy doesn't have anything to do with that, does it? Yeah, sleepy is the odd one out. So now we're thinking about the ways that things can be grouped together. So they're not all exactly the same, but they're all very similar, aren't they, these words? Okay, I think we have time for one or two more. Let's do it. We have beg, think, plead. That might be a tricky word. I wonder if you've heard of the word plead before. And the last word is ask. Ready to act them out? All right, let's act them out. Let's act out plead. And ask, how would you act out ask? This is how I would do it. What about beg? This is how I would do it. And then the last one, what about think? This is how I act out think. So which one is different? The word is think. Think is a different word from plead, ask, and beg. Why? Because think is something you can do with a thought, but beg, plead, and ask are all when you want something and you have to ask it of someone else. Ask, plead, and beg. Those are all our different ones. Well, I think we've run out of time again. How do you think you did picking the odd one out? Did you get all of the right answers? Good. Well, thanks for joining me again for our story this time. And remember, you can like and subscribe to our YouTube, our Twitter, or our Facebook, and then you'll get notifications when we go live. We'll keep reading storybooks every day this summer at 10:30 and at 12:30. Thank you so much for reading with me. I'll see you again next time. Goodbye. See y'all tomorrow at 10:30. All right.